Welcome back. It's FX time now, and for the week ended the 10th of January 2022, FX Commodity Exchange recorded an impressive increase in the volume traded, going from about 1 million to over 7.5 million. That's a whole lot. Well, we have Femi Kende, analyst, structuring and origination at FX, with the details. Hello, Femi. Good morning. What's the details? Let's have the full picture of all of this.
Hi, Chimeze. Good morning. So activities on the exchange significantly increased compared to the previously reported week in terms of the turnover, the volume traded, and the number of deals executed. For the turnover, about 7 billion naira worth of contracts were executed this week, which represented over a 600% increase week on week. Also, for the volume traded, about 7 million contracts were traded this week, which represented over 700% increase week on week. And for the number of deals, the week actually saw the execution of 595 deals, representing over a 200% increase week on week. In terms of the financial benchmarks on the exchange, we actually saw the FX Commodities Index declining marginally by 1.12% to close the week at 455 index points. For the volume traded across all commodities for the week, the exchange actually saw the trade of maize, soybean, paddy rice, cocoa, sorghum, and cashew. However, maize accounted for a significant bulk of the trade for this week. Sorghum had a beautiful week as the trade of the commodity significantly surged compared to what was traded in the previously reported week. In terms of commodities prices, the staple market and the export market experienced a significant surge in the level in the closing price on the exchange. For maize, maize closed the week at 234 naira per contract, which represented a 6.43% increase week on week. For paddy closed the week at 217 naira per contract, which represented a 7.02% increase week on week. For cocoa surged by 12.8% to close the week at 1,296 naira per contract, and for cashew closed the week at 456 naira per contract, representing a 0.47% increase week on week. However, there was a slight decline in the prices of soybean and sorghum for the reported week, as soybean actually closed the week at 390 naira per contract, which represented a 0.95 increase week on week, and sorghum closed the week at 214 naira per contract, which represented a 20.47% decline week on week. For more information about our report, you could actually check our website, which is www.afxnigeria.com, or you could follow us on our social media handle at afxnigeria.com or Comex by Afex.
All right, Femi, well, given the performance of the commodities since 2022 started, what would you say are the inherent benefits playing in the market?
So, over time, we've actually observed that the commodities market is actually primed to provide diverse benefits to different stakeholders with numerous objectives in the market. The key ones to mention in this case would be the hedge against inflation, the hedge against exchange rate devaluation, and the possibility of actually having superior return over time. And this is as relating to the capital market players, because at the end of the day, these players or these guys will want to prevent the erosion of their capital. And we know that inflation in the country has not been quite favorable since the start of the pandemic. So over time, empirical evidence has actually suggested that inflation has returned below what the ACI, the FX Commodity Index, has returned over time. A 4-year average would actually show that the AC has returned over 28%, while the a 4-year average of the inflation actually shows a 14% increase. So if you look at this, you know that if I'm putting my money in the commodities market at the end of the day, or if I want to hedge against the loss of capital, it is advisable for me to invest in domestic staples, because the fundamentals backing the prices of these commodities in the country are actually pushing to an upward trend continuously.
And currently on the exchange, what product offerings do you think will benefit different stakeholders?
Right. So you actually want to look at this from a processor standpoint and then from a capital market standpoint, right? If you look at the fundamentals backing the commodities market, we know that supply continues to outweigh demand, right? Which is one of the reasons why at Afex we developed the asset-backed commercial paper to honestly help processors hedge against a disruption in commodity supply, and also help them to actually continue operation into perpetuity or for the fiscal year. So that's actually one of the benefits that we envisage is quite useful to processors in the market. In terms of products that might be useful to capital market players, we look at our FETC, that is the Fair Trade Exchange Traded Commodity. Now, capital market players are usually averse to us playing in this space because of numerous reasons. Number one might be information asymmetry and other reasons, right? But with the FETC, we've provided a transparent means and a very cheap means for people to actually plug into or plug their funds or employ their funds into the commodity space and watch it actually return superior return at the end of the day. So with this in mind, we believe that at Afex we will continue we are providing innovative products to actually help different stakeholders in the market create shared prosperity.
All right, Femi, thank you so much. I will take the conversation further now, still with Afex. For many smallholder farmers, one of the most challenging barriers they confront is getting their products to the market. Markets in developing countries frequently lack integration, as evidenced by a lack of communication and information sharing. As a result, while markets in one region may offer higher prices for commodity, farmers in other regions have no way of learning about or capitalizing on these price differentials. One of the preferred solutions to this is commodity exchange, and that's where Afex comes into the picture. We have Yusuf Ogumbi, the head structuring and origination at Afex, to tell us how they are filling in this gap. Good to speak with you, Mr. Ogumbi. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here again.
So how do you think that the commodity exchange can play a role in price standardization of commodities, ensuring smallholder farmers get value for their produce?
Yeah, like you said, one key problem we've seen in this space is the problem of information asymmetry, where a number of people have an idea of what prices are, while some others don't have that information at hand. So that means that a lot of arbitrage can then happen on this just by having that information. And if you look at what technology has allowed us to achieve, given recent advancements, it's just basic for us to be able to say there's information on prices across board, and everybody's able to see what these prices are. This is one of the key parameters the exchange focuses on. And if you look at it, it allows everybody to have a sense of what prices are across board. And that reduces that arbitrage the arbitrage you can get on the information that you have in any location. So exchanges provide this function and help solve this the problem of information asymmetry.
With the solutions of storage facilities and funds to mop up crops from commodity exchange like Afex, is Nigeria likely to close the food production gaps anytime soon?
Hopefully, that's a stretch, honestly. And I think looking at a period of 15 to 20 years, looking at some of the advancements we have, some of the solutions we have on the exchange, I think we might be able to solve this problem. Some of the solutions concerning provision of capital, provision of storage, provision of input. The problem of food security is a long-term problem that you would address with a long-term mindset. And we are here for the long-term goal. And I think if you look at some of the solutions that we have outlined, they help us achieve this goal long-term. So for us, we think that this problem can be solved in a period of, say, 10, 15 years, given the kind of challenges we have in the country. We also hope that a number of other solutions will come from other stakeholders that are needed in the entire ecosystem.
That commodities exchange can play a significant role in the AFCFTA and put Africa in a vantage position to maximize the benefits of that agreement.
Come again, I didn't hear you.
Do you think that the commodity exchange can put Africa at an advantage to maximize the AFCFTA agreement?
Yeah, Pretty much. If you look at other continents where you have similar structures, if you look at the European Union, for instance, you have markets that allow everybody to be integrated. You have these kind of solutions that allow everybody to access markets, sell whatever they have, and the power of market integration is very important. If you are able to provide that market integration solution to people across board, say for instance, you wanted to buy coffee from Nigeria, you're able to buy the coffee on an exchange, deliverable against Kenya. These kind of solutions are very important in integrating these countries together. And if we look at it from an African standpoint, where you have a number of countries that are significant in each of these regions, so you have a Kenya in East Africa, you have a Nigeria in West Africa, these kind of integrations on a commodity exchange level, where you are able to transact on that market and execute your transactions seamlessly and efficiently, can help to fast track the benefits AFCFTA provides to Africa.
And seeing that AFEX is expanding to other African countries, how are you maximizing the benefits of AFCFTA in your expansion plan?
So for any company with a Pan-African view, with a Pan-African objective moving into the future, AFCFTA is a fantastic opportunity for everybody. And if you look at it with Nigeria, with effects in Nigeria, effects in Kenya, effects in other African countries, you would be able to leverage on some of the benefits AFCFTA provides. If you look at the African market, there's a strong emphasis as it stands on the regional markets, where you have countries within regions trading mostly amongst themselves, but AFCFTA now brings it up to the African level. And with us spreading our wings, expanding to other African countries, I think the AFCFTA benefits provides us the leverage to move into these countries. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, all stakeholders that participate primarily on the commodities exchange now have a wider array of opportunities to execute their contracts. So looking at, like I mentioned, imagine you wanting to buy coffee in Kenya and you're based in Nigeria. With the presence of AFEX in Kenya, it makes it easy for you to execute those transactions with coffee based on the exchange as well. So these are some of the opportunities that you see. And given the fact that the agriculture market in Africa is expected to reach $1 trillion by 2030. It just helps us to fast track all this growth as well. So AFCFTA is a game changer. FX leveraging on it is quite intuitive, quite creative. But then we think the benefits are just, we've not even scratched the surface.
Yeah, well, thank God the year is just beginning, so we have at least 11 months more to scratch maybe another level of the surface. Thank you so much, Yusuf Ogubi, Head Structuring and Origination at AFEX.